Hello everybody, this is the Millennial Mermaid and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how you can prevent blisters on your feet caused by fins, swim fins, monofins, mermaid fins, any real kind of fins. Just like how a new pair of shoes can give you pretty bad blisters, fins can do the same thing. Blisters from fins are caused by, a weird fit. There can be weird rubbing or chafing on your foot. You can get blisters on your ankles, on your toes. You can get them on your sides of the foot. So really, and they can become really painful. When you're swimming in the water, if you start to get a blister, your skin's already really soft from the water, so it's a lot easier for it to tear, and then your blister just gets bigger, and it just hurts like a... So in a mermaid tail, usually you have a monofin, which is something where the fins are attached together, it's just one, and your feet are locked and loaded. If you're spending time in your tail in land or water, the blisters can change. That's just because you're doing different movements, you're putting different pressures on your feet, and especially repetitive motions when you're swimming, those can cause blisters. So the first step in preventing blisters from fins is to do a short swim first. It's going to be really tempting when you get your mermaid tail or maybe a new pair of fins to take them out and just go for an hour. You're excited, but just like a new pair of shoes or hiking boots, you really want to prevent the blister quickly. As soon as you're feeling it, you need to address it. Feel around for hot spots and get out, and then maybe you already came prepared with some of the things we have today, and then you can try it back on and just really make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because if you let your blisters get bad when you're in the water, it can really get a lot grodier. So take care of yourself, take care of your body. Mermaiding is hard on the body sometimes, so just make sure you are taking care of yourself. The next step is assessing how does the fin fit you. Is it too big? Is it too loose? Depending on how you answer that question will change really the techniques that you're going to try to combat those blisters. The first suggestion I would have is swim socks. You can get these from Amazon, you can get them from your dive shop, and they're really just socks that are made out of nylon. Swimsuits or surf suits are made out of this, not wetsuits, and basically it goes on your foot, and because it's like loose fitting, it doesn't trap in too much heat, and you still have a lot of flexibility, but it protects the whole foot, so you got those ankles, those toes, sides of the feet. So that's always a good option to try. Sometimes you can get away with actual just real socks that you don't like anymore. So I use these for hockey. The trick is that they have to have, they have to go up the ankle at least a little bit. Otherwise they'll just fall off your foot while you're swimming. So, some ankle there. And I'll use these in addition to ankle straps. This will just kind of strap your ankle into the fin so there's a lot less wiggle. You can't really use these on a monofin or in a mermaid tail. It's really just for diving fins. The last thing you can try, and this is really especially if your fin or monofin is too big, you can go for neoprene socks. These are used for free diving, for scuba diving, for snorkeling, and these really are thick. So they can kind of constrict your foot a little more. They really will keep in more warmth too, so just be aware of that. They have a lot more structure. They're not, they don't move around as easily, but that will really pad up if you have a lot of extra space in your fin. So that is a neoprene sock, and they come in different kinds of thicknesses, millimeters. You can go to your local dive shop, bring your fin with you, and just start trying them on with them. That's one of the things I love about going into dive shops. And now we're going to go on to preventative measures. So before you go swimming in your mermaid tail, you're gonna have already tested where your problem areas are. You're going to assess and try and figure out which one of these is gonna work best for your swim. And if you don't really want to use socks, if you don't have too many problems, I'm gonna show you one other way that you can kind of combat these. The last thing that you can do is if you really just have problems in your toes, you can use duct tape. And I found that the quality of duct tape doesn't really matter. This is just Scotch duct tape. It's not like the crazy duct tape that's like silver and super strong. But I know when I go swimming in my mermaid tail that I have a problem spot here on my toe. So before I go swimming with that tail, I am going to break off a thin strip and I'm going to start wrapping it. Excuse, my foot has like weird markings from my sock. Ugh, okay. I'm still like not that great at this either. So, just wrapping the toe. And this is really the only trick that works because Band-Aids will just come right off in the pool, as we all have seen. So just making sure it's not too tight, but also not too loose, because once it gets wet, you don't want it to just slip right off. So just make sure it's got, you know, a little bit of hold there. And there we go. The duct tape will stick to itself. So it's probably a little loose, but that's fine. So that's going to protect that problem area from being rubbed against, and that's going to protect a blister. Now, another thing is if you already have a blister, this isn't from a mermaid tail, but it's a perfect example. Let's say you already have an open wound and you want to tape it up. I'm going to show you a trick that my sister taught me before an underwater hockey tournament. What you'll do is you're going to take the long strip again, okay? Take that long strip, gonna get a similar thickness, smaller strip. Doesn't really matter the colors, I just kind of do it to have fun colors because I think it's fun. And then what you'll do is you'll put it right there, so you still have some stickiness. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure you cover your wound with the side of the duct tape that's already face down, okay? Because otherwise you're just taping a wound up and then you're gonna have to rip that Band-Aid off and that's gonna hurt, sucker. So don't do that. But make sure it's long enough so that after you can just, you know, keep wrapping. And I'm really terrible at this. Like I'm still, like you'll see hockey players who like just have this down. Make sure you like, oh, this is looking awful. But, you know, take your time. I would probably redo this, but I'm lazy, so I don't want to. Not too tight as to not cut off any circulation. But boom. And then if you have too much, just rip it, you know. Okay? And usually after you go swimming, they'll still be on. But you're still gonna need to take them off. Just, you know, unwrap. And usually it won't hurt your hair or anything. It's going to be too wet. So that tape method works really good on your toes, but you can really actually use it around your ankle and get creative with it, and it usually works pretty well. I used it to cover my entire burn during a hockey tournament, and we like had to make a duct tape Band-Aid that big, but it worked. So now you know, duct tape is a mermaid's best friend. Alright you guys, so those are some ways that you can prevent blisters on your feet from mermaid fins or any other fins really. This is the Millennial Mermaid. Be sure to subscribe to my page, comment, like, do what you do on the YouTube. But your support is appreciated. This is the Millennial Mermaid. Thanks for watching. Sorry I'm still nasally. I've got this cough that's been lingering for 3 weeks and I'm dying, but I think it's almost over.